Hey everybody, welcome back. Wrestling with Whiskey one more time. Grege Hamilton once again in the house. We're coming to you from beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Back again after our first single barrel battle.
Yes,
and now
that's right.
We're kind of continuing the same theme. It's single barrels as well, but these are specifically store picked, not just like a single barrel product on the shelf, but a store picked barrel, an actual store selection or a single barrel selection.
Yeah.
Made by a group or a store or whatever it is.
What I think is cool about this too is, if I'm not mistaken, this idea of doing it this way evolved from the last tasting.
100%.
Where we did this, all those single barrels, and you're like, well, we could do store picks. Oh my gosh, we could do store picks.
Yeah, to make it even more kind of concise or more focused.
Yeah, yes. I think it's cool that I feel like each week we do this and new ideas come, and then it's a new way to taste whiskeys and a different way to think about bourbons as well.
Yes.
It's a new way to think about it. Like, well, yeah, different styles of battles of what you want to taste, and so I'm excited for the barrel picks though. For these,
I am too, because I think this is the wave. I've said, a lot of people have said this actually. The wave of with things like your Buffalo Trace Antique Collection and Pappy's and the fall limited editions of everything getting harder and harder to get your hands on.
Yeah.
Even if you do know people, sometimes it's hard to get your hands on. Like, to me, these are the new, like, the real limited edition sometimes. Because sometimes you can get these store-picked barrels that nice age on them. They've got a unique profile that may not be like the regular shelf version and all this stuff. And they're just as good, sometimes if not better, than some of these limited editions.
Yes.
So if you find a store with people who pick with a great palate that you match up with, you're in the primo spot. You're in the cut.
And if you think about it, too, a barrel pick like this is almost even more limited than some of those hard to find bourbons because it's a single barrel. It's one barrel.
Yeah, the store that barrel, so you're lucky you get about 200 bottles out of that.
Right, and that's it.
Yeah, whereas like George T. Stagg, it's got several thousand.
Right.
Over the whole country, of course, but still, yeah, your store has its one barrel of 200 bottles that might be the only things that not even might be are the only things that taste like that.
Exactly.
That will ever exist. To get real like philosophical about it.
Yeah, it is.
That barrel with those weather conditions, with that type of aging in that location, will only exist once.
And it's within that thought that I now am very particular about our Wrestling with Whiskey New Riff barrel because I'm down to my last 3 bottles of that thing. And it's it's a special bottle.
Oh yeah.
It really not because
it's
it was our first
killing me to
one.
hold on to them.
But it's so good. But it's that thing that once it's gone, it is gone. So when you start to think of it that way, and we talk about the store picks, and you brought up a great point about if somebody has a palate you enjoy, man, these are just as rare, if not more rare, than some of the hard to find, unicorns. So 100%. I'm excited about this. Do we want to talk about what we brought and why, or do we want to wait till the end and then discuss that?
No, we don't want to know. I don't want to know what you brought.
Well, no, not give the name, but I brought this because, or
no, let's
talk
go
about it all.
Let's just drink.
Let's just drink whiskey.
Yeah,
let's drink whiskey.
Here we go.
God, I love doing this. So
cheers, man. And to you, yes.
Oh man, I think I already know what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, point out, not our ideal glasses, not Glencairns.
No,
we couldn't get them with us this week, but thankfully the hotel at least has glass and not
True,
plastic cups.
Like, exactly.
So at least being able to kind of sip out of
cups.
glass. Yeah, no kidding.
Man, I like the nose on this.
Yeah, I'm getting some. It's a deep, rich caramel, some nice oak on there. Decent amount of like oak.
Oh man, a little peppermint on the end.
Peppermint's almost like I'm getting some chocolate.
Are you?
There's a nice bit of rye on that, I think.
Really?
It's got a nice little spice on the palate.
So I'm getting definitely like a deep oak, but then also, hold on, some chocolate's coming in.
See, yeah, that's what I was getting.
But it took a minute though. So like an oak on the back of the palate, but then like this brightness up front.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, not really high proof.
No. It's not low proof though. I think this is over 100. But it's not like 120 something, 130 something.
I feel like the age, I think there's some age here that tempered some of that gasoline.
It's a high rye mash bill of some kind.
Yeah.
There's some floral spiciness, a little bit of herbally.
I don't taste a whole lot of like a wheated bourbon like you normally get. Like it's not that heavy wheated sweetness. Definitely sweet, but I think that sweet's coming from the aging with the oak.
And I'm getting that spearmint.
Not from the mash bill.
That spearmint you were smelling?
Yeah.
Or whatever. There's a little bit of that on the back of the tongue. Or excuse me, kind of on the front.
Oh my God, it's got a ton of grape.
Yeah, right?
It's like my third or fourth sip, and I just got a ton of grape on that.
Absolutely. And they said, to me, I think that's the wood kind of speaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. What's that? That's really nice. Let's move on to sample B. And here we go. Number 2. Or
sample
B.
Whatever you want to call it.
However, don't worry. We'll get this all at the end. I promise.
Yeah.
One way or another. We'll figure all this crap out. Round 2.
Cheers. Sample B. It's really light.
It is very light.
Okay.
Like, I'm getting... Again, I know these glasses aren't perfect, but I'm getting
all
all in there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing coming off the nose, really.
But let's not forget, there have been times, remember there was one tasting that we did where the nose smelled incredible, and then we tasted it.
And
it was totally different.
It was kind of lame.
So
and then vice versa sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. So this, before we even sip, this could be the opposite of that too. You just never know.
Yeah. Let's find out.
That's more than I expected. There's a little heat there. I'm getting like a cinnamon, but not like a good cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon clove, almost kind of thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like that Christmassy cinnamon.
A little bit. Yep.
Ooh, I'm getting some like butterscotch in the end there, like buttery and butterscotchy on the finish. But yeah,
if I were to guess, it's not super old.
Exactly. I had totally.
There's a little bit of a taste of youth on there.
Yeah, but in a good way, in my opinion.
Okay.
Had we tried this one first, I mean, I don't dislike it. I really do, but it doesn't. Yeah, it feels a bit younger. It tastes a bit younger than that first one did. So by comparison,
I'm just not getting the oak.
Right.
Which I'm not saying that good or bad. I'm just saying it's not getting the oak.
It's just different, yeah. And the different complexities of flavors that dance all over your tongue. It's a few less dimensions, but not in a bad way.
Yes. There's a decent little finish on it.
Yeah.
It's
I was just
bad.
letting that. I was just sort of getting that right now. Like a younger.
What do you think the proof is? Can you tell? Like, again, on the nose, I thought it would be like 80.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it smelled like nothing. But
I'm gonna say maybe 93 to 100.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Because you know me too, like I'm not crazy about like the high proof gasoline stuff, so I have an aversion to that. For me, I would notice right away if it's like, whoa, this
120, 130.
Yeah, for me, I mean, that I just my palate isn't made for that. So and I'm enjoying this. That's why I say, 90s. 93 to maybe 100.
It's better than I thought it was going to be based on what I smelled.
True. You wouldn't expect this, but to me, yes, there are fewer notes, but they're really good notes that are in there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So fewer, but really good.
100%.
I'm really curious about this one.
Yeah, I'm curious to find out what it is.
Man.
You'll find out soon.
Yes.
Moving on.
We'll find out together.
C. I don't know which way you guys are seeing it. Speaking of done. Moving on. Sample C. Moving on. In our store pick single barrel battle. A lot of interesting flavors so far.
Definitely. Not disappointed at all so far.
I mean, I feel like we always bring our A game.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like...
think so too.
I don't think we've ever been disappointed with anything yet.
No. Even in like the ones, I don't want to say the worst, that's not the case. The ones we like the least of a certain tasting are still great bourbons. Yeah. So this one's really got me excited, man. Yes. Here we go. Sample C. Ooh.
You know what?
Hold on.
We were chatting before about
I'm getting grape.
Dickel.
Yeah. I'm getting grape.
This is what reminding me of Dickel.
Really?
So I feel like this is a Dickel source single barrel.
Man.
I'm 90% sure this is not one of mine.
I don't think it's one of mine.
This has got dill and pickle on it.
Okay.
Which is funny because dill and pickle equals Dickel. Oh. And everybody always talks about a pickle note when they sniff Dickel.
Okay.
I swear to God, that is a thing across the board with all you blogger MFers. Dickel smells like pickle. Or whatever. Like, there's a pickle thing. You probably just picked it because it rhymed.
No, people out there like to sniff little Dickel. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Whatever you do in the process of your own home and bar is your but this smells like. I'm just proud of myself. If this ends up being a Dickel product, I'm gonna be so happy because it's the first thing I've identified by like smell alone.
Yeah, that would be impressive.
Because it's got that pickly and the thing I used to kind of identify as cocoa on there.
Yeah, man, I'm just getting a very, I don't know how else to put it, like grape, but like a light clean.
I get what you're saying.
And maybe that is sort of the pickle.
I'd be curious because who sources from Dickel? Old Scout, some Magnus sources from Dickel. I'll be very, very curious.
Yeah.
About that.
So now I will say, after taking a sip of it, I think this could be one of mine.
Okay.
On the nose, I'm like, not a chance. No way.
Sure.
So sweet wood, but then I'm getting like this palate cleansing finish. Not a thick, viscous, stick to my mouth finish, personally.
I'm getting some wood and grape on the roof of my mouth for the finish.
It's lingering though, man. Now it's. I tell you what, it's lingering.
No, it's not too bad. I keep coming back to like different flavors. That's kind of nice.
But I don't. But I don't know how else to put this again. Like I'm like anyone else. So I'm a novice, just talking about what I honestly feel and taste. So I don't know if I'm
100%.
saying everything properly, but
who cares?
Exactly. But I am getting the nuances of those flavors, but not as viscous, not as sort of thick on the finish.
Yeah, no,
I don't know how else to put it.
The mouthfeel, like it's not bad, but it's not like overly thick.
It's light.
It's like
But the flavors are still there. The nuances on your tongue are still there, but it's just not as thick and viscous as maybe some of the others we tried. But
there's some nice, almost like dark fruity flavors.
Yeah.
Like dark
plum.
Cherry plum.
I'm getting plum.
100% like stone fruit almost kind of things. Cranberry, maybe not cranberry, but just like those dark dry fruits. Yes.
Yeah. Like maybe plum, blackberry.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the time, some of those people who are picking, they like to pick off profile.
Yeah.
So they might pick an Eagle Rare barrel that tastes nothing like any Eagle Rare you've ever tasted, and that's why they pick it.
Yeah, I think that's cool
because it's an anomaly in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Because of for whatever reason where that was sitting, it tastes it tastes different than any other barrel in that rick.
Yeah.
In that warehouse, in that whatever. Which those are the kind of cool special ones.
And that's again what I really like about New Riff is I've tried because I live in Cincinnati, just so you guys know. New Riff is right across the river in northern Kentucky. So in Cincinnati, a lot of the restaurants that I go to, they have done their own New Riff pick. Mm-hmm. And my God, do they taste different from each restaurant you go to. It's incredible the different. I mean, you can't tell that they're all New Riff.
And the thing is, especially with not that just to jump on the New Riff bandwagon, but they don't have 12 warehouses. I think they have one, and they're building their. I could be
Correct.
wrong. They've won, and they're building their second one.
Yes, that's true.
So there's pretty much one location in different areas in that warehouse
to get that many different flavors.
That much variation.
It's incredible.
Really cool.
But that's the fun thing about it, I think, too. It's almost like treasure hunting, isn't it? Where you're tasting and doing this and that, then you find this one barrel, and it could be right next to this other one, but tastes totally different. And
looking
incredible.
For that honey barrel.
Yeah.
And that honey barrel.
The honey barrel.
And that honey barrel could be our last sample.
We'll find out next.
Sample D. All right, here we are. Final pick, sample letter D in our choosing. Final sample. We've had some good, really interesting things.
Man, this is incredible. I really like this.
Picking out different profiles and like you said, some of these might confuse us because they're off profile, and that's the fun thing about single barrels and store picks in particular.
Yeah.
Finding what you like and what's unique about whoever's picking those barrels.
And you brought a good point up earlier too that and you and I both already do this, but it's one of those things that to you it's not that obvious, but you got to think about it. If you find a store or someone that picks the barrels for their store that you really like their profile when they pick barrels, after 2 to 3 bottles you start to realize I like what they're doing here.
Yeah. You
stick with them, and then I've been in situations where maybe there are bourbons I normally wouldn't buy, but I would take that person's opinion.
Right.
And go ahead and buy that bottle on the chin, knowing that they're 3 for 3, 4 for 4 on bottles that they've picked that I like.
Yeah, because clearly if you trust their palate enough to buy all their single barrel picks, you're like, oh man, I like what this guy's talking about.
Yeah.
Then if he's pointing you to, even if it's just, hey man, you should really try Jimmy Black.
Yeah.
Even just regular old things that are on the shelf.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, well I really like what this guy picks, so I like his palate.
Yeah.
Therefore, he's putting you in the right direction.
Yeah. I do the same thing with chefs, even though So if I go to a restaurant and the chef has something on his menu and it's a restaurant I really like and it's a special dish, even if it's something I normally wouldn't order, if I know that I normally like that chef's food, I'll go ahead and order it. Yeah. And it's kind of the same way with bourbon.
Yeah. So. Trust your chef, trust your commander, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Trust your master distiller.
Cheers to the final selection in the single barrel store pick battle. There's a nuttiness to it.
Yeah, that's what's different from what we've tasted so far, or even in the nose. That there is a nuttiness.
Nutty, almost like peanut almondy kind of thing.
Like I'm getting a
vanilla
little sweet
caramels.
pecan.
Yeah,
a little sweet pecan on the nose,
which leads me to think it's a bean product.
God, I really like that.
They're known for their kind of peanut, almondy nutty notes. That's a fun phrase, nutty notes.
Okay, what happened there? Because your demeanor changed.
No, that's a strong pour. I think that's higher proof. I'm thinking 115 plus.
Oh yeah,
that's a kick.
Woo.
There's a kick there, which is giving me a little bit more of an idea of what I think it could be. I think it could be one of mine.
Okay, I think it is personally. So that's right in your.
This is kind of in my wheelhouse.
So I will say this though, I love the nuances of flavor in this. Like I love like the burnt sugar I'm getting, and the caramel, and the deep wood. So for a guy like me, this is still a great bourbon. I just need to put a rock in there.
Sure, 100%.
And then I'm all day with this.
Or even I'm with you because like I do like those more in your face kind of higher proof bourbons, but even when sometimes what I do find like I like them neat.
Yeah.
But then I'm not going to take a big swig. Right. I like just small sips. And really just take, because the flavor is so intense. Just take them in small sips. Yeah. And that's great because your drink lasts longer too.
That's true. That's a good point.
There's layers of deep vanilla, caramel. Yeah. There's that nuttiness.
This is, whatever this is, I need to like get my hands on it. If it's not mine. I don't think it is though.
Yeah.
It just, the proof seems too high for me, but because of what it brings to the table, like just one little cube in there, and this is for me personally. If you're like me, you like those high proof things.
But still, you pour that, you pour 2.5 ounces of it, throw a cube in there. No, you're sipping on that for the next hour and a half, or whatever. You can really linger on that and enjoy it. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna call an audible here. Yeah. Just a little bit of water in here.
I'm not mad at that.
Just it's a little drop. Little dipple. Ooh, that might be even a little much, but
that's okay.
And let it kind of swirl it around. Yeah. Let it get in there, because I found like I used to kind of scoff at that, because when I first got it, it was really getting into bourbon. I was like, oh, only pure bourbon, no water, no ice, no nothing, right, and everything. Yeah. And generally, I do stick to that, but I have found a lot of whiskeys, a cube, a couple drops of water.
Opens it up, man.
It really opens it up. It changes it, and it brings out the more subtle flavors. Okay. Some nice spice on that long lingering finish.
Even with the water, then you still get the spice, though, which is what I like. It doesn't kill the spice on it.
Yeah, I thought I added too much water or whatever, but no, it's still nice.
Yeah. So it's got, there's something there that it didn't water it down, really. No. It just opened it up.
Yep, 100%.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, which is fun, especially with your higher proof bourbons.
Man,
play with it. See what happens.
This is a fun one.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
So let's do some tallying and figure out what is what.
Moment of truth.
Okay, everybody, we are back. We are revealing the final results of everything we have. Store pick, single barrel battle. And here we go. Let's just get right to it. So, all right. We're starting here with sample A, is what we're going to call it, right?
Yes, sample A.
What did you rate it on between 1 and 4?
1.
That was number 1?
Yeah, for me.
Wow, okay. Very cool. So I rated that number 2.
Okay.
So that was both top tier things, so that was a total of 3.
3, yeah.
So sample A right here is a total of 3. So that's a big contender.
It is. It definitely could be.
All right, so what did you rate sample B?
Sample B, I gave a 3.
3? Okay, yeah. I went 4.
Okay.
Lower end of the tier. So 3 and 4, that makes it a 7. And sample C, where did you put that?
Gave it a 4.
That was 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Opposite of the last one, I gave it a 3. So that's also a 7.
And for the record, we did not do this on purpose where we it came down to the last one. We don't know what's going to happen.
100% no.
So then now we do.
Sample D.
2.
And sample D was my number 1. So that's a 3. So, oh my God, we have
tie.
We have 2 ties.
2 ties, yeah.
You know, like
7
A and D were our favorites.
That's so funny.
And B and C were lower end.
But for the record, too,
same numbers.
It was slim margin for me.
100%.
Like, especially between A and D, slim margin. It was 1 and 1A for me.
Yes, very much so.
So, okay, so A and D were the favorites. B and C were the, I don't even want to say but the second favorites.
I mean, do we even want to label? That's gonna be hard because labeling them even 1 to 4 is gonna be tough because we have 2 different ties.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just want to do
the tie for first and tie for second.
Kind of.
That's
thing.
kind of because none of I didn't dislike anything about any of these. They were just different.
Yes,
and
very much.
But you had to give them a rating.
Yep,
you had to. So.
And the thing is, we just ended up in opposition of everything.
Yeah,
literally. So what you thought was 3, I thought was 4. What you thought was 1, I thought was 2. So
but they were both right there.
Right, everything was right there.
I think we have a tie for first and a tie for second.
I agree with that.
That's kind of what I think. So.
All right.
Tie for first.
Yep, tie for first, tie for second, if you will indulge us. So, let's get with the reveals. Big time reveal.
Should we do the tie for second first?
Sure.
Let's do the tie for second first.
So, the tie for second was B and C, the middle things, right?
Yeah.
So, right, here's our tie. These are our tie for second place.
Yes. Is this B?
This is sample B, and it is 1. Is that me?
It's your 1. Yeah, it's your 1.
That's tight because you're both handwritten, right?
Yeah, mine are handwritten.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Damn,
mine are handwritten.
Really? I really thought mine. I'll be honest. This is embarrassing. I thought both of mine were A and D. I was convinced. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. No,
that's very interesting. So 1.
1 for you is what?
Oh crap.
This is why I love doing this.
No. It's on my phone, which is recording right there. So I have to go into the notes section to find out what it is.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Sample B.
Sample B.
So sample B, the first one was mine.
Yes.
Which was my number 1, which was a 4 Roses pick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the one I had told you earlier in the day that I hadn't touched this one in about a year and a half.
That's the one.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I thought, I'll be honest, I thought was sample A.
Really?
So, yeah.
But you said you weren't crazy about it the first time you tried it.
No, I don't, because when I first got it, it was when I was first really getting into whiskey. Like,
right.
I was still getting used to proof and still getting used to things, and I couldn't pick out the nuances.
Right.
And I tasted it.
Very novice palate at that point.
Yeah. And I tasted it yesterday when I was picking the samples, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of nice." And so it's an OBSF. Okay. From a place called Prestige Liquors in the suburbs of Chicago. And I believe it's right at just over 10 years.
Okay.
A 10-year age statement.
Okay.
So that's very interesting. So these 2 are tied for. So this sample B was the 4 Roses. That was my number 1. That was my number 1. Yep.
Okay. So next
is sample C.
Sample C, which
is
I rated 4. You rated 3.
Yep. That's your number 2.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Which is?
It is a barrel bourbon.
Okay.
101 proof from Calandro's in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay.
So there's a place called Calandro's in New Orleans, and not too far outside of downtown. So they, if you go in, it's like a grocery store.
Sure.
But then on the right, they've got this giant selection of bourbon, and they do a ton of picks.
Really?
And they make the trip to Kentucky to do those picks.
Interesting.
So they're a very reputable place in New Orleans when it comes to bourbon. So it was, Calandro's barrel bourbon. It's not one that I've really sipped on that often either. And I didn't try before I poured it in here.
That was the one I was convinced was Stickle.
Okay.
So I wonder if we'd have to go back and see like where it was distilled.
Yeah.
I'd be very curious.
Me too. And now I'm definitely gonna look at that. So
sure.
For me, it was one that it was interesting because it was in the store in New Orleans that does a lot of picks, and I hadn't tasted it since I bought it really.
Okay.
But I paid a lot for it, so now I'm kind of disappointed. But I'm really not, because all these were great.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to do with that, though, was I really wanted to blind taste it with you and taste it again, but with someone else who enjoys bourbon give it a fair shot.
Yeah.
It could have been number one. Who knows? So it's interesting. I'm kind of glad it worked out that way. Because now my heavy hitter that I brought to the table, and I don't know what you brought.
Yeah.
But tied for first is one that I brought that I was like,
yeah.
I'll tell a story.
You know what the fun thing about this is? I love that tied for second wasn't just you or just me. So
it always feels like we do this though.
It's split. So now we know that first place was split as well.
Yeah, it was.
So we're literally dead even tonight.
Yeah,
we already know that.
And I feel like every week it's like that. It's either super close or I narrowly get you one week, you narrowly get me the next week, and then now of course we're tied. It's just
we haven't had a runaway yet.
No, not at all. And I love that though.
Yeah,
because it introduces us to new flavors and bourbons and everything else. So
very cool.
Okay, tied
so
for
4 roses for one of the second place, and a barrel bourbon single barrel.
Yes, from Calandro's
for the other part of the second place. So
how do I do this? Because there's one I'm convinced I know what it is.
So
I'm convinced one of those is mine.
Okay.
Do you want to do it that way?
Because again, I thought I was thrown for a loop too. I thought one of mine. I thought I was A and D. I thought I was these top 2. Okay. I was convinced.
I'm convinced that I'm A.
You're convinced that you're
convinced
A.
that I'm A.
Okay, that's fair because I'm pretty convinced that I'm a D.
What if we look at this and it's
the opposite? Of
I'll
course.
Laugh.
That's what makes these blind.
Please, I hope
blind tastings, which is awesome.
They can't be the case.
All right, let's see. So this is sample A. This is D. So sample A is number 2. That's me.
No way.
What the fizz?
How's that possible?
You gotta be kidding me.
How is that possible?
You gotta be kidding me.
Are you sure you didn't mix those up?
Anything's possible. There is human error and everything.
No, but yours has the label.
Yep.
But mine doesn't have. Mine's written.
So that, and I didn't move these. You can go back in the video. This is sample A.
I swear this was mine.
I could have sworn to God that this, I know what this is. I thought this was sample B.
Okay, so before we reveal, I'm hoping that it's the same brand or label.
It won't be.
But I'm hoping it's the same label, but just different store picks.
Right. It's not.
Well, since yours was A, I'm so pissed.
Mine's A.
I'm so mad right now.
So I was convinced, like I said, I was convinced. So I didn't even pick, this was my number 2 for me, personally.
Yeah.
And
well,
I
thought,
I picked it, I picked it number 2, and I thought, so whatever you brought was my number 1.
Maybe we should swap those bottles, though.
So sample A, the first thing we tried was my number 2, which was Hot Dog. Was one of my favorite Knob Creek barrel picks from Barrels and Brews in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. It was their beardless dram pick, 14-year Knob Creek, 120 proof.
Okay. You want to know what mine was?
Please.
Mine was a store pick, also a 14-year Knob Creek.
Really?
Cork and bottle.
Wow.
So here's the story.
Okay, so you were right. They are. They're the same brand, just 2 different barrels.
That makes me feel better.
It makes me feel better, too.
So here's the story. I'll give you the story because there's a story behind mine.
Okay.
So Cork and Bottle is a store in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. They have, I think, 2 regular stores. Then they also have a little kiosk in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky airport. Which is really cool because sometimes they'll have really special stuff that you can only get at the airport. We fly how often? times a week at least.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So then this is months ago. Walking through, and I've got some time, so I go taste, and they're like, "Oh, we've got this Knob Creek barrel pick of ours. You got to try this." And what was her name? Was working behind the counter, and she said, "This is my favorite pick that we've ever done." And I'm like, "Well, whatever."
Bold claim.
It really, really was. So she let me taste it, and I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. And I said, "Oh my God, I love this." I said, "I'll take a bottle." She goes, "Well, here's the problem. This bottle that we're only selling, well, they sell like you can buy drams." She goes, "This is the only bottle we have left." She goes, "We had one that was, I didn't know this, it was her bottle that they left for her." So she showed up in the morning. Her bottle was there. She didn't realize that they had put it aside for her. She sold that bottle.
To you?
No, to someone else. So even she didn't have a bottle.
Yeah.
And she's pouring me this dram, and she's like, "I don't even have a bottle. I sold the one that was for me." And now I was brokenhearted because I loved that.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, man, I'll tell you what. I did my research. I made phone calls. God bless Eric Bowman, who runs the bourbon program there. He eventually said to me, he goes, "Look, I know you love this. Someone never came to buy their bottle that they tried to hold in reserve. They never came. It's been weeks. I'll go ahead and say this last one bottle of it. And I'll be damned if I haven't been savoring that thing for 6 months.
Yeah.
And not, I don't want it to end."
Yeah, absolutely.
But for this, I'm like, I gotta, like for you, I'm like, for this, I'm like, oh, Wrestling with Whiskey, I gotta bring this bottle. So that's the story.
Awesome. It's funny. Literally, I was convinced that one was mine.
That, to me, yours was,
I know.
Yours was the bottle I tasted at the airport, and there's no way. But folks, here it is. Look, you can see English put paper labels on there. I wrote things. It's not. We didn't mess this up. This is what it is.
That's what's so fun about these things.
It really is.
So cool.
I was certain that that's what that was.
Yeah.
So what's your? You got yours in Tennessee?
So no, I didn't. To be fair, I didn't. Yo, yeah, I did. That's true. Actually, we were passing through Nashville, and we didn't have a show there. But I was driving from one city down to Birmingham, Alabama. I remember this now, and I know I wanted to stop in Nashville though because I knew Barrels and Brews had a store there. The guys who did those picks, it was at the time it was Carruthers, Wine and Spirits and everything, and they had their picks there. And I stopped in, and I was like, well, they have a 14-year Knob Creek on the shelf. Always one of my favorite, values in bourbon you can get, especially last year. I know there were a ton of 12, 13, 14, 15-year picks.
Yeah. For
$39.99. So if you found somewhere that had a great pick, and I know these guys have a great palate, I picked it, and I'm like, and I remember I went back, stayed in an Airbnb, and I popped it open that night, poured it into a little wine glass.
What did you think then?
And I loved it.
So even that night you loved it?
Yes.
Okay, same thing for me.
And I've been nursing that one. I've given it a couple of samples to away to friends, just because I'm like, this is one of my favorite Knob Creek picks.
Yes, me too.
And they both ended up as 1 and 2, so that's appropriate. I kind of, it's a weird thing that we have these weird ties, but it's kind of appropriate, especially with number 1, both being Knob Creek picks.
Yeah, in both 14-year.
Yeah.
So whatever it is about that year,
kudos to them for what they're doing and the proof they're bottling at and the barrels that they were putting out.
If you can find a Knob Creek 14-year, I guess that's a barrel pick, store pick. I guess the point is the lesson from this episode.
Pick them up, get all of them.
Not to mention the thing about those two is they're at very good prices.
$39. I don't know about you, but $39.99 is where I see them pretty much across the board.
I didn't pay much more than maybe
45. Yeah, $44.99. Something like that.
But for a 14-year single barrel, because remember, they're not only store picks, they're single barrels.
It's one barrel of a beautiful 14-year-old whiskey.
You tell us where you're going to find a better 14-year single barrel bottle anywhere.
You see 10-year bottles going for $120.
Right. So
for certain things.
I've always been a fan of Knob Creek, especially their single barrels and barrel picks. But for me, this put it over the top, man.
100%.
Wow.
And that's exactly what we wanted to kind of illustrate here. We illustrated a little bit with the last single barrel battle, but this brought it even home, even more so in the store pick single barrel.
Incredible.
That there are certain profiles that can just stand out so much if you find the right store or picker or whoever is choosing these barrels. You can find some awesome, incredibly nuanced, unique flavors.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so this is what you want to do. Please always be trying your local stores. Always be trying to find new flavors, trying to find new outlets to find your whiskey passion like Greg has, like I have. And always, always, always be wrestling with whiskey. Yeah!
Love it.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. That's cool, man.
That was fun.
Knob Creek picks for both. That's cool.